Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning Blaque in once again to Authentic Black Goddess TV. I'm your host, QueenAShakur, and this is your second morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click the notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, so with that all being said, shout out to everyone in the chat and shout out to everyone tuned into the Queen. Let's get into it. And so you all remember a few years ago when there was a mentally disabled man and he was out with his caregiver. The caregiver was trying to talk him into coming back to the facility, I believe. And a cop shot him. All right. So now they've overturned it. Says saddening. Court overturns conviction of former South Florida cop who accidentally shot a Black caretaker that he believed was being held hostage by an autistic man. Let me tell y'all something. First of all, how does that even make sense? What does that even mean? Okay, now he shot the man accidentally. How do you accidentally shoot someone? You have to point the gun at them and pull the trigger, right? I mean, of course, you could accidentally shoot someone, but what I'm saying is when you're an officer, a cop on duty, you point your gun at somebody and pull the trigger. How was that an accident? And the man had his hands up. Why was your gun pointed at him when his hands were up? And second of all, I love the fact that they say he accidentally shot the caretaker he believed was being held hostage by an autistic man. So you thought he was a whole hostage, so you shot him? Oh, that was an accident. Okay, so you pointed your gun at him? Do you see how that makes no sense? If you thought someone was a hostage, why would you be pointing your gun at them in the first place? Oh my goodness, the lies that these devils tell. But let me continue. So in a controversial case involving a police officer who shot a Black man who was trying to secure a mentally disabled man from harm in the middle of a city street, a Florida appeals court decided last week to overturn the 2019 conviction of former North Miami Police Department cop. The state said it's disappointed and may ask for a rehearing. Now, former NMPD Officer Jonathan Alita was found guilty of misdemeanor culpable negligence for firing a shot that injured Charles Kinsey, a group home's behavior technician, and this was in July of 2016 in North Miami, Florida. Now, Alita claimed that he believed one of the Kinsey's autistic clients from the facility was holding him hostage at gunpoint. So you pulled out your gun and you pointed your gun at him too? Okay. Even though the object in the man's hands was identified as a silver toy truck, the conviction led to Alita being sentenced to administrative probation in order to write an essay. Really? Are y'all serious right now? He got sentenced to what? Say what now? An administrative probation in order to write an essay? Where are we? In high school? What is he put in detention for shooting someone and almost killing them? They gave him detention. Is that what it is? In school suspension. That's what it sounds like. Told to write an essay. So they sent him to class. Is that what they did? Now, on Wednesday, February the 16th, the Florida 3rd District Court of Appeal overturned Alita's 2019 conviction, determining it was compromised because the trial judge improperly excluded testimony from the SWAT commander that trained him during his trial, even though the defense believed it could have helped the officer's case. Now, the court will allow him to have another trial. If he is found not guilty, he could get his job back. The court opinion said, we reverse and remand for a new trial because the trial court erred by refusing to allow Officer Alita's SWAT commander, Assistant Police Chief Angel Rivera, to testify about the training that Alita received as a SWAT team member. We find that trial court's refusal to allow Rivera to testify as to Alita's SWAT training regarding hostage procedures has merit and requires us to reverse Alita's conviction for the crime of culpable negligence. Now, listen, here's the thing that I have to say about that. This is all just a load of BS, and I want y'all to pay attention. At the end of the day, his SWAT team training, that didn't have anything to do with that. It didn't have anything to do with it because, in fact, there was no hostage situation. Please pay attention, okay? Now, they say the part of his SWAT training that taught him how to handle a hostage situation. Well, guess what? There was never a hostage situation, people. This man was trying to help a mentally incompetent man and tried to talk him back to going to the facility. That's all. There was never a hostage. The fool said that he thought there was a hostage situation, but there was not. Okay? And he's so stupid because at the end of the day, the man's laying there with his hands up. So pay attention. If you thought, let's just say if he actually did, if this story that he told is actually true, which I know it isn't. I'm so sure it isn't. But at least in my opinion. Now, the mentally disabled man was sitting there holding a toy truck. So you thought a toy truck was a gun. And it was white or silver. It wasn't even black, but he thought it was a gun. Okay. Well, that person was sitting there. They never put their hands up that I believe. And the black man put his hands up and he was laying flat on the ground. How did you shoot him? Accidentally. How did you shoot him and not the other man whom you thought had a gun, according to him, and thought was holding him captive? Now, if he was going to make this make sense, he could have gotten off better away with it if he said that he shot or if he accidentally had shot the disabled man, because that's who he says he thought had the other man hostage. If you think someone's a hostage victim, if you think they're being held hostage, why would you even point your gun at them? And why would you point your gun at anyone who has their hands up and is lying flat on their back? I cannot with the lies, but let me continue. Florida State Attorney Catherine Fernandez Rundle released a statement saying, today's appellate decision is disappointing to all who believe that this shooting incident was unnecessary and incorrect. And so anyway, I'm not going to go through all of this. I'm just going to show you all the video for those of you who don't remember what happened in the case. Everyone, please get those likes up. Please like and share. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you in advance.
He's like, please don't shoot me. But why they shot the black boy and not the fat boy?
You know, because they were the blacks, you know.
No, I'm sorry, but none of that made sense to me. None of that made a bit of sense to me. First of all, the man who was mentally disabled, he didn't look like he was a threat. He definitely didn't look like he had a gun. He didn't look like he was holding anyone hostage. So the fact that that cop fired his weapon at all, he needs to be in somebody's prison. Okay? What was the point of him doing any of that? He is constantly lying. Please don't saying. He's constantly saying, please don't shoot. Right. Exactly my point. Just all BS. And now they're going to let him out? I cannot. Anyway, in other news, listen to this. A woman was hit and dragged and punched during a Bay Area McDonald's assault. She says her children were traumatized. Now, I'm going to share my screen so you all can see the video of this. Also ridiculous. Some people just cannot control their anger and just get so turned up over nothing. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you in advance.
Wild story out of the Richmond area tonight. Police there working to try to identify a woman after an encounter at a McDonald's drive-thru.
Yeah, it's really terrifying. They say the woman attacked a mom who was in her car with her 3-year-old and 5-year-old. The suspect.
Let me adjust the volume. I'm going to mute my mic and use the, hold on.
accusing the victim of cutting her off in line before then ramming into the victim's car and hitting her once before she got out of the vehicle. KRON 4's Taylor Bisacki spoke to the victim tonight and has more.
Yeah, record me, you get out the car. Get out the car and see.
I have children in the car, ma'am.
An
extreme case of road rage caught on camera at a McDonald's drive-thru in Richmond. Now, Richmond police are looking for the woman seen in this video after she assaulted a mother who was in the car with her 3-year-old and 5-year-old.
Terrified. I was in such a shock. And I felt so helpless because I couldn't move. I was in line. I couldn't go anywhere.
The victim, who only wishes to identify as Amaro out of fear, says it all started after she merged into the McDonald's drive-thru lane off McDonald Avenue a couple weeks ago. She says she began recording when the suspect became increasingly aggressive, accusing her of cutting the line and then proceeded to throw things at Amaro's car.
Don't throw.
Amaro says the situation only escalated from there.
That's when I got out of the vehicle, asked for an insurance. I asked her to give me her insurance. I told her she wasn't going to go anywhere. Just stop. Can't leave. And as I put my hands up in the air, she rams me over with her vehicle. And I grabbed the hood of her car, and she drove off with me out of the parking lot into the street. My kids saw everything.
Richmond police say the suspect dragged the victim more than 150 feet across the parking lot before stopping, getting out, and then punching Amaro several times.
And she still gets out of her car and attacks me, starts punching me. So I was punched pretty hard on my left side of my face. And she gets back in her vehicle and leaves.
Amaro says the suspect then drove off, leaving her bruised and traumatized.
I really hope that she's recognized, or that somebody comes forward and gives any clues of who she is. Somebody with this character is very dangerous to be, especially working in scrubs.
If you recognize the suspect or have any information, please contact the Richmond police. I'm Taylor Bisacki reporting, KRON 4.
Now that woman was clearly a whole fool. Okay? Now, which one of you's cousin was that? I mean, that was just so ghetto, straight hood rat type behavior. Why were you doing all of that? With people having their children in the car, just acting so niggering. I absolutely cannot. Alana says, sorry for her, but that dumb woman rammed your car and you got out to ask for insurance. Right. She got out of the car. I'm sorry. That woman was acting like a demon, like she was demon possessed. Honey, I wouldn't have gotten out the car to talk to her. Okay? That's what I wouldn't have done. Robin said the victim probably done more before she started videoing. The victim, listen, here's the thing. I doubt it because she had her children in the car. But even if she did, is there any excuse for that behavior? Let's not try to make excuses for that fool just because she's black. Okay? She was acting like a whole damn fool. So I'm not going to try to say what the other person may have done before they started recording. The other person seemed like she was calm and cool and collect and talking sensibly and trying to calm down her children. That woman was acting like a darn fool. That's what she was acting like. Okay? Acting like a whole fool. Please, I hope they do find her and put her in jail where she belongs, honey. People that can't control their temper and act that stupid and niggard over something so minuscule, they don't need to be on the streets. They don't need to be on the streets. You're sitting there throwing stuff in people's car. And what else could the lady have done, beloved? You said we don't know what the victim did before she started recording. Well, what could she have done? How much more could she have done? She was in her car. Was the other person's vehicle rammed into? No. Did the lady look like she was hurt? The crazed lady? No. So I don't know what you're saying that the woman could have done to make her act that way. There's no excuse for her behavior, and that's just facts. Okay, let's call out everybody who does something stupid like that, no matter whether they're black or not. She was acting like a whole fool, traumatizing that woman's children. Okay, so please. She was acting like her shoe size, says Pink Love Jessica. Absolutely. Then she damaged her own car. Right, how stupid and irrational and insidiously obtuse do you have to be to ram someone with your car knowing you're going to damage your own car too? But the other woman was just as stupid because she got out to ask for insurance. Honey, let me tell you, if someone purposely rams your car, the last thing they're thinking about is giving you their insurance. Come on, please. Wake up, people. I cannot. Zocro said I would have drove off. Exactly. I mean, exactly, okay? That's what she should have done. I mean, just staying there and getting out, honey, that was just all so crazy. Anyway, I cannot. So let me show you all this video because this scared the crap out of me, just so you all know. This literally scared the crap out of me. Hold on, I'm going to share my screen again.
Tragic death of 79-year-old Carol Wright, Contact 5 discovered other frightening incidents on bridges. We received a remarkable video through a public records request from Palm Beach County. The Lantana Intercoastal Bridge last October. A car drives on the bridge as the gates close behind him. The driver then stops at the edge of the bridge. Fast forward 33 seconds. The bridge begins to open, with the driver still behind the wheel. The bridge lifts the vehicle, where it teeters over a pit with a 40-foot drop. Appearing panicked, the driver opens the door. Gravity slides the car forward, and it slams into the roadway below. The bridge closes, and the unidentified driver gets back into his car and drives away. The bridge tender on duty last October, a now former Palm Beach County employee, told investigators that she did not see the vehicle on the bridge until she closed the bridge. The county terminated the bridge tender for violating policies, including visually checking the spans. She declined an on-camera interview and told Contact 5 over the phone her view from the bridge was obstructed and she just didn't see the car on the bridge. Contact 5 started digging into bridge tenders following the tragic death of 79-year-old Carol Wright February 6th. After the Royal Park Bridge opened while she crossed it.
When the bridge tender pushed that button to lift that bridge, that was basically giving Carol a slow mental and physical death sentence is all she did right there.
Attorney Lance Ivey, who represents Wright's family, said the bridge is owned by the Florida Department of Transportation and is manned by bridge tenders from a third party, Florida Drawbridge, Inc. The company didn't respond to repeated requests for comment, and the Florida Department of Transportation refused to comment on the investigation.
Our goal is that will never, ever, ever happen to another family.
We're learning much more about this industry as we continue to investigate the incident. Please stay with Contact 5 for more on this.
No, thank you. Y'all saw that, right? I mean, talking about his guardian angel being on his shoulder, because he was almost out of there. And then the only thing she can say is, I'm sorry. Her view was obstructed. Obstructed by what? Because they're supposed to have a clear view of that bridge, okay? That was real crazy and very scary. And I've always thought about that because I remember years ago, my father, who used to live in Florida, told me that somebody fell off that bridge when they lifted it up or whatever. The person just fell through. That's always been scary to me, honey. I don't have time for that. I don't like riding on bridges anyway. Okay, so now listen to this. 15-year-old's family begs for answers after Chicago boy was shot 24 times. So a 15-year-old Chicago boy was on his way to buy snacks at a local gas station when he lost his life after he was shot 24 times. This is according to WGN-TV. It happened on February the 12th. The incident happened in the Chicago lawn community. The victim was identified as Sincere Cole. Now, in an interview with the news outlet, the deceased teen's aunt, Brandy Martin, said the incident had left her in shock. She says Sincere was so creative, ambitious, and an entrepreneur at age 15. He found a way. Standing at the gas station, pumping people's gas to make money. It's better than knocking an old lady in the head for her purse. He didn't have to die. Now, Cole's family also has also sent a public plea to people who may know something about the shooting and asked them to come forward, saying, "My nephew balled up and pleaded for his life. Somebody say something. Someone's seen something. Please speak out. Don't wait for it to happen to you. And you have to stand in front of these cameras and ask for the same. If you may have to stand in front of these cameras and ask for the same help that you refuse to give." So Martin, who is the deceased teen's legal guardian, also said her sister and Cole's mother passed away in 2019. She also added her 22-year-old daughter was killed that same year. Investigators are yet to solve that case. She says, "I've got to stand up here and scream from inside out and make sure I get the word out so he won't be another name, another number, another tag. Don't forget about us because we're put in areas that are low income." Meanwhile, a $5,000 reward for information that could lead to the arrest of Cole's murder has been tabled by the Faith Community Church of St. Sabina. He's got siblings who are hurting. He has a father. "I'm pleading for help from my city to bury my nephew. We need help. We need grief counseling." So they don't even know who shot this young man and why would they shoot him 24 times? Now, the first thing I thought was maybe it was robbery or something. He was out there pumping gas to make money. I don't know. Maybe he had money on him or maybe they thought he had more than what he did. I don't know, but it all sounds nefarious. I'm going to share my screen so you all can see a picture of him. Lee Harp says, "Wow, that woman's had a lot of sadness." I mean, absolutely. Just all sounds so depressing. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. That's him. He looks awfully young to be 15. I don't know if that's an old picture or not, but says he's 15, was shot 24 times. So very sad story indeed. Now, I hope they find the killers, and maybe with that $5,000 reward, someone will come forward. Because, you know, in the Black community, they have that darn no snitching policy, right? People don't want to talk, don't want to tell. I mean, it's just all so crazy. It's so... Anyway, with that all being said, everyone please like and share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click the notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time I go live. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at QueenAShakur. You can also follow the QueenAShakur fan page. And let me say this, for anyone that is following the fan page, if you're sending DMs and you're thinking they're coming to me, they're not, okay? I'm not in control of that page. I have my chief moderator is in control of that page, all right? So with that all been said, if you're trying to DM me, you should send them to QueenAShakur, all right? To my page. Now, with that all being said, also don't forget to follow me on Twitter at dgoddess27. And salutations, Bangani. Okay, so that all been said, I hope you all join me in the next live that's starting right now on the original QueenAShakur channel for your third morning wake-up call. We're going to be talking about Antonio Brown and more of his antics. He's just gone in, right? He's going in on Tom Brady them again, okay? So please tune in, all right? With that all being said, I will talk to you all again soon. Peace.